Hi, in this episode I'm going to show you how to upload an image in Power Apps and store it in SharePoint. Keep in mind we are using SharePoint as an example, but if you prefer using other storage options, feel free to do so. We have a blank app here and we are going to keep things really straight to the point and really simple. So I'm going to start by inserting a media here, and let's use the add picture. This is the media we are going to use to grab our image. Okay, so when I do this, Power Apps added us here two elements, the add media button one and the uploaded image one. Let's hit preview to add a picture here. So we're using this light bulb here. Okay, and now let's see what we have as the content for the image. So I'm going to add a label here, and let's use uploaded image one. As we can see, this image is in a blob format, so we will have to convert it to send to Power Automate and then to send to SharePoint. So we need to perform some manipulation here in the data. So I'm going to add a button. Let's call it manipulate. And here I have some code here in my Control-C. Then you can copy this to use. I'm going to explain what the code does. First, let's focus on the first part, and then I show the second part. So I'm using the uploaded image one, right? We don't have uploaded image 3. And this, we are setting a variable called image content, and we are using the JSON command to change our format to a base 64 format. So you can copy and paste this code and paste into your Power App, and it should work. Okay, so let me hit manipulate, and now let's see what we have inside our variable. So image content. Let me drag here, expand it here, and let me add a scroll. Okay, so this is our data. So let me hit preview here. So this is our data. It starts with the data type here, the format, and after the comma, we have the actual data, the information we need to send to Power Automate, and from there to store in SharePoint. So we'll have to add a little more code here to extract this information. So we have to start after the comma, and we have to remove the last quotation mark here as well. So up to this point, we'll have to grab this information here. So from there to here. Okay, so let's do it. So let me go back to edit mode. In the manipulate button, let me copy the whole code, and this is what it's doing. So it's this is the first part where we just saw, and then it grabs the image content here and saves in another variable called image base 64, and then here we perform this operation like finding the first comma and removing the initial part of the text of the content, and then removing the last quote. You can copy and paste. Feel free to pause the video and copy. It's a short code. And let's hit again, manipulate. And now let's see what we have in our image base 64. Perfect, exactly what we need. There we go. Now we hit just send this information to Power Automate, and from there we are going to create an image in SharePoint. So let me add a new button here. Let's call it upload. And here we are going to select the button, go to action and Power Automate. Now we're going to create a new flow. And here is where we are going to select the trigger from Power Apps and then perform an action. So this is the default one, so let's choose it. Okay, so we are receiving this information from Power Apps, and here we are going to use the SharePoint connector to create a file. So create file. Here we type the site address. We will be using this one here. Okay, so you can use any site you want, any SharePoint site. And the folder path here will be image library. I just created this one for this demo purpose. The file name, we have this in Power Apps under the add media button one element here. We are going to cycle through that to choose it. So we are going to ask in Power Apps this one. And the second one is the file content. File content, it's the the data we manipulated, and then we are going to ask in Power Apps as well. So here, if we want to select another parameter from Power Apps, we can click more here and ask in Power Apps. So now we have two different parameters coming from Power Apps, and here in Power Automate, we're going to perform some operations with them. But here we have a little trick that this image here, this content is in base 64, and we have to convert it to binary so SharePoint can understand it. So let me select it just like this. I hit Control C, then I delete this one. Now I go to expression, I paste it here, and then I remove those braces. So the last one and the starting one with this @ symbol here. And now I used, let me select this and Control X to cut it. It's in my clipboard. And now we are going to use base 64 to binary. Let's open parentheses here. And now I'm going to Control V, which is the information that I just cut. And this is what we are going to receive from Power Apps from our second parameter. Then it's going to change it. Okay, so I hit OK. Now I hit save and it's ready. So let's use it. So if I go back to our Power Apps and click upload. So just let me show you first. This is our SharePoint library, and here is where we are going to store our data. So our image. So I hit upload. Let's do it again. Power Automate. Now we have a flow here that we have just created. Let's use it. And now let's pass the two parameters we need, right? The file name and the file content. Okay, so it understood here that it has two inputs, the file name and the file content. So the file name, it should be add media button 1, this same element here, dot file name. Power Apps store it automatically. And then the file content, it should be our image base 64, which is our data manipulated, the same data which is here in this text here. And there we go. It's ready. Now let me hit preview again and let's hit upload. The data is already in the variable, so we don't need to manipulate again. And now let me hit refresh here in SharePoint. And there we go. This is our image. If I open here, we have our light bulb. Great, right? So I hope you guys learned something from here, and stay tuned for our next episodes. See you later. Bye-bye.